my second time, and that was, what, January or December?
Last fall.
Okay. So April 14th, I'd like to call the Parks and Recreation Commission open meeting, open for order. Kara, could you do the roll call, please?
Sure thing. George?
Here.
Genevieve?
Here.
Number 2?
Here.
Katie? Mike Kelly? Jamie?
Present.
Mike LeBlanc? Toby?
Present.
Bill? Where'd he go?
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Renee?
Here.
Dan Rosendi? John Pelkey? And then Molly's here, John, me, Erica. We don't have our Board of Ed liaison. All right.
Okay, thank you, Carrie. So let's all say hi to Molly Keys, our new executive director. Hi, Molly.
Hi, everyone.
It's awkward to say the least, but welcome aboard. I hear a lot of wonderful things about you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be a part of the Parks and Rec department.
Excellent. Thank you. Big job. Do I have approval of the minutes? A motion to approve the minutes from last meeting?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? Minutes are approved. Thank you. Michael, is there anyone lined up, queued up for public input? Am I supposed to, so if you want to participate, if you can see us and you want to participate, you can go through the WebEx conference call, which is 855-925-2801. Once again, that's 855-925-2801, and the meeting code is 5606. When you call the number, you'll hear welcome to publicinput.com, and it will ask you for the code. Type the code, and the message will repeat, and you're in right away. Okay. I guess if you could let us know if anything happens, that'd be great. We'll bring that up when it comes. Great. Yep. Thank you. So, not having any public input, we'll move along. Can we get the report from the council liaison, Erica?
Thank you. Yep, just wanted to welcome Molly as well. We are very much, the town council is very much in the budget season currently. So working through all of the different aspects of the budget. We are looking forward to hearing from Parks and Rec on the 22nd. Should be the reports from Park and Rec as far as the budget for that. So I don't think I have anything else in particular to report from the town council unless anyone had any specific questions or throughout the meeting as well.
You're gonna go nice and easy on the 22nd on the parks, right?
So look through that one still, but always support our parks and
Whatever you want, John. Do we have is Art Aducci here for the Board of Ed? Okay, moving on. Special task reports, special reports tasks, part of the final plan. Molly, could you take that one?
During this meeting, we would like to bring up the master plan that was created originally. I know you've been working on it for a year, several years now at this point. And I believe that Carrie had sent over originally the master plan in your last meeting, right, Carrie? In the December meeting? Yeah. And we would like
After the
to,
January one.
yes, after the January one. And we would like to do a final review to approve of it. If everyone has any questions on the master plan, if anyone's read it and has any additions to it.
I think people have been giving input. It's still on the setup in the Google.
Yes. Yep. I did receive a few emails with some changes that people saw. So I made those changes. Basically, the only differences from when I sent it in January are the addition of pictures, some grammar and spelling mistakes that were fixed, and then there's a short conclusion added and the appendix with some of the resources that were used throughout the master plan. So basically, the conclusion is the only thing that you haven't seen. So we can share that quickly with you. Either Molly or John can share a screen and show that, and then the rest is good to go.
Okay.
Cool. That's
Any
great.
questions? Yeah, if you could share that, that'd be great. And are we looking for final approval for tonight?
Yes.
Yep, we are allowed
I know the
to.
council's looking to get, I know the council's looking to get it, but before we go too far, I would like to personal thank you from Molly and I to Carrie, as she worked countless hours on putting this master plan together. And honestly, she did a phenomenal job.
Yes.
Thank
It
you.
looks fantastic. Thank you. All right. So I actually cannot share my screen as I'm just a panelist on here. So I believe that IT will have to make me the host. So Michael, can you make me the host? Mike, can you hear me? Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, let's see if this should work.
I'm getting some sign on my screen that talks about low bandwidth. Anyone else getting that?
Yep, same.
Sorry, everyone. It looks like when I try to share my screen, it kicks me off of the call. I'm not sure why that's happening. I apologize for that.
How, we're talking about just the conclusion page, correct?
Yeah, it's only 3 paragraphs. It's pretty short.
Would it be too much of an imposition to ask if you could read it?
Sure. I can do that.
Are you guys okay with that?
Yes,
fine.
that's fine.
Yeah, I apologize. It seems like whenever I try to share the screen, it's going to kick me off of the computer for some reason.
No worries.
All right. All right. So I'll just show. This is what the binder final copy looks like, the cover page for the conclusion.
Nice.
And then I'll just go ahead and read it. While compiling the information for this master plan, the Park and Recreation Commission was committed to approaching ideas that included a series of reasonable, worthwhile projects that will increase the quality of life for all South Windsor residents. By setting goals that are practical and attainable, it will allow for implementation for the investment in the town's parks, programs, and facilities. Although the master plan is a long-term plan of development for parks and recreation, it is a constant evolving document due to the changing needs of the community. Residents that live in South Windsor highly value its parks, open spaces, and amenities. The Parks Department oversees 893.44 acres of parks and open spaces over 15 different locations, not including town buildings or public or Board of Education facilities, while the Recreation Division offers a wide variety of programs, free events, and other exceptional experiences. Access to parks and recreation facilities promote healthy lifestyles for all ages. It is also an important way to allow families to spend quality time together. Whether it be at a sporting event, taking a walk on a trail, attending a free concert, or spending a day at the community pool, it encourages citizens to take advantage of all there is to offer. As a result, it offers members of this community a sense of pride. The hope for this master plan is that it provides a great resource to the Commission, Parks and Recreation Department, Town Manager, and Town Council. The Commission continues to strive to be a valuable working group in order to determine the needs of our growing community.
Thank you, Carrie.
You're welcome.
Any questions or comments?
Nope.
Guys are a talkative group tonight.
I mean, I'm impressed at how much the Parks Department does.
How much you guys pay in a peanut gallery there? I'm telling you. We're grateful for you, John. If there's no discussions about the plan, is there a motion to adopt and accept the master plan?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept the master plan.
I'll second that, George.
Who seconded that, Bill?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, thank you. All right, the motion's made and seconded. All those in favor of this master plan signify by saying aye or raising your hand.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? Congratulations, motion carries. We have a master plan.
Oh, Molly, great start.
There we go. Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, Molly, it only took you a month to get a master plan together.
Yeah, exactly.
3 years and 15 minutes.
It seems like a decade, I think. Okay.
Now we need some money.
Open space and task force liaison, George, what do you got for us?
There are a couple things that we talked about, property-wise. In front of the firehouse, that little, I don't know if that's an acre, but there's that lot in front of the firehouse on Sullivan Avenue that's getting sold. And then the only other thing that they were talking about, 1355 Ellington Road, the house is removed. There's only a garage there, and that's going to be, I mean, John could probably talk more about that, but that's going to be a parking area for Wapping Park. And then the other thing, the Priest property, all the outbuildings are gone. The silo's still there in the main house. And they're trying to look at repairing that silo on the priest property. But most of our discussion was from the town council when they were just talking about swall pack and open space being possibly combined. And I don't know how that started, but that got everybody in a tizzy for a while. But they kind of calmed down. They're going to wait and see what happens with the town council. I don't know if Erica can talk about that at all. But
Sure,
that's it.
That was something that was brought up by Councilor Snyder, I believe.
Yep.
Was to look at the idea of combining some boards and commissions, and that was one that she suggested. She also had mentioned HRC with the commission that is, and that those two also might be combined. So those were two that were specifically cited, but it was like an overall idea. And I believe from that, the liaisons to the council were supposed to go to those groups to talk to them about what they felt, if they felt there was that overlapping. And then it was actually on our agenda for this previous meeting, but because Councilor Leidecker was the one who had requested it, but she wasn't able to make the meeting. So it got moved to I believe it's going to be an upcoming agenda for the 17th, 19th.
Okay.
18th.
Yeah, because she's our liaison, so we talked to her about it. We basically decided to see what you guys come up with and what you suggest, and then we can go from there. That's it.
Any questions of George?
George, the property in front of the station, fire station, is that going to continue to be left open, or is someone going to build there?
You know what? That's the only thing that we were told was that it got sold. I don't know if anybody else knows anything, if John knows what's going on with that.
I'm hearing rumors they're gonna build there. But now I'm also hearing rumors that the fire department and after. So the fire department was told it had to go to referendum, but I don't think that's true to sell it.
Yeah, I thought from what they were saying at the meeting, it's already sold.
Yeah, I think it is.
I believe from memory, it would have to be a referendum item.
I think only if it's over so much money, right, Erica?
I'm not 100%, and I can't write things down in executive sessions. I can't remember. We talked about two properties, and I know that one of them was said specifically would have to go to referendum. I believe it was this one because you're selling town property. So it would be on, it wouldn't be a separate referendum. It would be on the ballot for November. And there is a contract written, but I believe it's contingent on peace.
More to be revealed, I guess.
I was under the assumption the fire department bought that piece of property with the fact that they pushed it back off Sullivan Avenue so they could sell that front piece. I'm surprised it would have to go to referendum, but.
Well, we can find out more. How do we find out more information?
You know,
The next open space meeting too, I could ask. They know anything.
I can also check with Jeff Folger and then just send everybody an email.
I was gonna say the same as John. I can also find out.
So, besides being an open space, what does that have to do with Parks and Rec?
What does it have to do with Parks and Rec?
Yeah.
It's just land. I mean, that could be another thing for the Major Donnelly Preserve. I mean, that connects to the Major Donnelly.
Could be more property for John to take care of.
Exactly.
We already do though. That's an easy one.
Okay. George, thank you for your report.
Yep.
If you find out more, please let us know.
Yeah, I will.
Report of Parks and Rec Executive Director, Molly?
Yeah, so I, hopefully everyone received what I sent over. It was a big document. We just completed our reopening plan for the Parks and Rec department because we've been closed since last March to the public, and we will be reopening May 3rd, which is really exciting. And this is due to basically following the Department of Health, CDC guidelines, and along with our town and the reopening phases that we're going through. We're going to be doing it in kind of small capacities. So we're going to be offering rentals again within the banquet hall, which we actually are really excited for. We're going to be doing some small room rentals, but only one per night, just to maintain kind of social distancing and disinfecting policies. And then we are going to be starting to have more people in the building for summer camp, yoga classes, other fitness classes. And that's kind of where we're at with reopening the building. In terms of the office, we're going to keep the walk-up window instead of people coming into the building for the time being because it's starting to be summer and it's kind of minimizing the public coming into the office when there's summer camp going on. So we're going to kind of roll it out that way. And we are really excited to finally have some people back in the building and to, actually hear people instead of the dead silence in the hallways. So it'll be really nice. And then in terms of our pool, we're kind of focusing on the aquatics guidelines currently. We're going to have more out soon for that. Right now, we're kind of trying to figure out our swim schedule in terms of group lessons, private lessons, and lane rentals. And the pool guidelines are kind of a to be determined once the state releases those. But overall, with COVID, we are slowly reopening our programs. So again, I'm really excited to be coming in at this time. So it'll be a lot of work, but it's going to be our new normal with our programming. So that's kind of where we've been with the reopening phase of it. We're slowly going to be rolling out programs and events as well. So we have our fishing derby this upcoming Saturday. It's an outdoor, socially distanced event. We have sign-up times. They have their own bubbles. They're going to fishing, be social distance, and everyone's going to be happy to be outside and seeing other people. And we already have over 150 registrations for that event, which is higher than the previous time that we've had that. So I think everyone's itching to kind of get out and be social, which we're seeing. And then in terms of the Crosstown Trail, so we met with Anchor this past week. John and I did, along with Jenny from Walking Wheelways, and we kind of went over the corridor that they have mapped out, and we went over their next steps on their design, and we're going to be doing a walkthrough of the full trail. Walkthrough to kind of map out some of the structure of the corridor and kind of see what the path will look like for the public. And we're going to have a base design hopefully by, I think, June, right, John? Something like that. You said early June.
That's what he was talking about, yeah.
Yep. So that's exciting. And basically we have to kind of work with Eversource at this point as well. Due to a lot of the trail will be running along the line of the Eversource corridors. And then in terms of capital improvement, I put on some of the stuff that we did for the 2020-2021, which was the Crosstown Trails. We reallocated the connector path for that, the repaving for the roadway, basically everything that we've already put together. And then we've been working on now the 2021-2022 capital improvement plan, which is going to be the Rise Street Park tennis courts. We're repurposing them into pickleball and deck hockey. So John and I are working on that currently. and that is going to be we're going to do 4 pickleball courts and then 1 deck hockey, and we're going to be using LED lighting to make it so that it's more energy efficient and people can play at night, and we can open people involved with pickleball at night to do an adult league or even a youth league. So we're hopeful that those courts can be utilized throughout the day. See. Oh, and we also did order the showmobile, which was, we placed that order in March, and we got a $60,000 donation from Rotary for that showmobile purchase, and we're going to be getting that delivered end of May, early June. So we'll be able to have that for our amended summer concert series. So we will be doing a series, but it's going in style, and basically registration, and we'll be at the bottom of every car and be able to view the concert from their car or from their parking spaces. So we're going to be able to utilize that for all of the concert series this summer. Another programming update, we just did an egg scramble. We had 600 eggs in all the parks, and yeah, and then 1 and 4 were winners. So we've been having people come over to the Parks and Rec window and getting Dunkin' Donuts gift cards, hats, frisbees, all of that stuff. Surprisingly, the gift cards were not as popular as the hats and the sunglasses and the frisbees. So, but the kids did enjoy that. We had a huge turnout. I think we got all of the, yeah. And then I think the only other program update that was big was that we are now in charge of the farmers market.
Really?
So before we were just working, before we were just working with Andy, and now we are going to be running it. And John and I are currently working with planning and zoning to move the location of the farmers market.
Do we get revenue from that?
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Where are you guys looking to move it?
We're not telling you that.
Nice.
That was my question too.
We're actually looking to move it to the, I'm going to call it the left of Windermere Court. It's actually where the first ever athletic field was proposed in that back field, but we're going to push it all the way to the back, to the wood line back there. And what's nice about it is that Molly and I looked over a lot of things. I always thought it was it outgrew its spot very quickly. And so I have to walk across the road. To cross the road, cars were parked on the sidewalk. So we're going to be able to park the cars and have the farmers market all at the same site. We'll have handicap parking right next to the site. We should be able to, the area is probably almost 4 times the size there. We've already seeded the area with hopes that this planning is going to give us the okay for this. Get a little bit different grass growing. We'll play those by ear and see what happens. We are probably going to plant some trees by Windermere Court to help, make with a little buffer. But I think that what people from Windermere Court are also welcoming the farmers market. I think they're going to like it over there.
That's nice.
Well, in future years, though, we're going to be able to expand it. This year, we're kind of staying at the size that it was at in terms of vendors, and then non-COVID times, we're hoping to potentially double it.
Oh, excellent. Good.
It might be a big task, but we're excited for it. We think it's going to be a really cool opportunity to connect us with the farmers market.
Nice.
John, do you want to give a little bit of a parks update?
Sure. We touched on the farmers market. Another thing that we had done was I don't know if you're all familiar with it or if you're even familiar with it at all. There's a group in town called the Tobacco Valley Flyers. They fly radio controlled airplanes and helicopters and things like that. They've always been at the Public Works Garage, and the Public Works Garage now needs some more room for their composting program. So what we did was we actually got them moved over. We went through planning and zoning already, and we got them moved over to, you'll know it as the Barton property, but it's officially known as the John J. Mitchell Fairgrounds at Rye Street now. So they're going to fly in the back far corner. I think it's something that People enjoy watching. They're a great group of guys. On the beetle farm that's there, because they don't like the beetles don't like any grass or anything like that. So we have a sandy little runway for them there. They're also going to use some of the lawn area there, and hopefully we can expand that for them also. The fairgrounds have become much more popular. Molly and I and Dave have been working on some things. I'd really like to see what it's going to cost us to get water and electrical over there. I know that the park is over there now. We have, I think it's 4 events that look to want to go over there now. It's actually, I know it's a cricket field right now, but it's a great place for a fairground. It's a great place for an event. And a fairground and a cricket field may not get along. So I'm telling you this in this meeting, but I'm actually looking to see if we can build another area for cricket somewhere to make it so they actually have a field, and you don't have a fair and then something 2 weeks later and the cricket people are trying to play where there's 50 feet of tire ruts and all kinds of things where it's not safe. But that's a whole nother task in itself and won't happen immediately. The crew's gotten all the ball fields ready. All the athletic fields are all ready to go. Baseball's up and going now with some restrictions. Little league's up and running. High school's up and running. We have all the new schools are online. The care and maintenance of those. The Parks Department has a $30,000 tree budget through a tree contractor. We have used almost 26. We've used all of our budget, but $24,000 to $26,000 this year has just been on open space trees behind people's houses. I don't know what is going on with trees dropping this year, but they are falling everywhere, it seems like. And they're not just falling in the woods, they're falling into, some people's backyards and some of the neighborhoods that we have. But that's been a challenge for us. We've done a lot of work in-house to save us a lot of money, but that's been a little bit of a challenge. We've done some pipe work at the brand new Eli Terry because there was a large swale behind the school. I didn't really like the way it was left, even though it was acceptable to the schools. I talked with the superintendent of schools and also Daryl from maintenance. I didn't like the fact that it was a 6-foot deep swale that was, 12 or 15, 18 feet across that the kids would be able to actually probably go down into if they want. So we actually piped it and then we covered it. So that's going to be much safer for them. We did that in-house because it would create a huge change order for the school and the construction. And so we're working on that now. Pool covers are coming off next week. We're starting to open the pools. And one of the things is that with the houses gone now, we have no problems there. It's going to be a lot that's going to come very similar to the Wapping parking lot. But we have a little bit more room here. I think we're going to expand it a little bit to make turning around a little bit easier. It's going to have a heavy wooden rail around it instead of the picket rail that we used at one time. I believe Wapping Park has a heavy wood rail in it. One side may not have a rail in it because we've actually saved enough money where we think we might have enough money to pave the parking lot. So for snow removal, it'll make things much easier. We've already improved one of the trails into Wapping Park over there in between two of the old sheds that were back there. So we already have access to the park in one area, and we're working on another one on the left side as you go in. George, you talked about the Priest property, the silo that's there. I think they're not really looking to make repairs. Are they looking to just secure it so people don't go in it?
Yeah, they want to stabilize and close it up.
All right. They did talk to us about that. We have removed all the outbuildings. Again, that's another thing the Parks Department did in-house. We saved an awful lot of money by doing that. We did have everything, both at Ellington Road and the Priest property. Everything was abated professionally and done. We went through all the right channels as far as, all the environmental companies. We did do an awful lot of tree clearing along that we removed all the old invasives and cottonwoods. We are gonna look to clean that up and make it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. And, if you do drive by the Priest property, it does look a lot better than it did, but I think people are getting tired of the boards on the windows and they want us to do something with it, so. With that, I think that's about it as far as my little notes go here. And, again, everything's going smooth so far, so hopefully we can get this world back up and running right.
Is there anything ever gonna happen on Willowbrook?
No, I think that's a little stalled right now. I don't really know where that is with the town. I know that Doug Nations from Nomads, I know they're looking to reopen the restaurant, or try to anyway. And they're looking to possibly do some kind of programming there, but Molly and I and Dave actually walked it a couple weeks ago. We were told we were allowed to. And as far as the golf course, it's not repairable anymore without probably well over $1 million to put into that course. There's not a green left on it. The tee boxes are gone. The fairways are no longer really lawn. So it's really now it's just an open space. One of the things that I did learn that was interesting, and on the value of their greens and their tee boxes. So they would get taxed on, like, if a green's worth is $150,000, they would get taxed on each green at that price. And I think that's what makes it so difficult for a golf course to stay in business. But I don't know what the future of Willowbrook is. We've asked to come to be brought to the table if they do something, but I think honestly what the town's had it appraised for, and I think what somebody else will pay for it, are two completely different worlds.
Thank you, John.
And then in terms of anything else with Parks and Recreation, we do have our April happenings out, and we're doing some spring registrations, and then we will be having our actual Parks and Rec magazine that will be coming out, which is exciting. I think they said this is the first one in very like a year.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
We're actually not doing the full book again, maybe possibly in the fall, but this one will be a little bit bigger, but still just a virtual copy, because things are still even changing now. So
Molly, with all the things that you're doing and some of the things are starting to open up, have you played with any possible revenue projections of what you look like might happen?
Because we do have to keep changing around our camp programs just
Right.
due to the guidelines. So our revenue can be a little bit different than what we were thinking even this upcoming summer, like going into July, just due to the camps. We're not really sure where our registrations are going to be with that. Hopefully by the next meeting, we'll have a more accurate projection for our revenue. Right now, I mean, we're hopeful that all of our registrations will go up for our programs throughout, and I think that'll bring in a decent amount of revenue. However, at this point, we're very unsure of where we're going to be.
Okay, so no guessing. How's the staffing going? Can you hear me?
It's going good. However, we're looking for, so in terms of seasonal staff, we are really looking for some more lifeguards, and I know camps applications are starting to roll in a decent amount. They have over 30 interviews coming up, but I think across the board in recreation industry right now, it's really hard to find seasonal work.
Okay.
So we are looking for lifeguards. It's a really big one for us right now.
Do any of the commissioners have any questions for Molly? Thank you very much. Discussion topics? Do we have any? Bill, you look thoughtful.
I did, and I was just going through Evergreen Walk the other day, and Evergreen Walk is just completely come off the rails, I think. Have they ever approached the town with anything in that area for recreation or something that should happen there? Because, I mean, that is just a ghost town right now, and it seems like it would be the center of something good, the recreation point. Is there any history there? Maybe, John, you know some of the history here?
So we typically do the concert series over there, and that's as far as we go with recreation. And we will be doing our concert series again over there in the back lot behind the manager's office in Evergreen. That's where we're going to be hosting the concerts. But besides that, I know there hasn't been any recent talk of anything recreation related over there.
Bill, I know there's going to be some serious changes coming up there because of, I believe, and I'm sure Eric can talk on this better than I, with the changes that are going to come with Sakura and Old Navy and whatever store is going to go there. But I'm sure Erica can touch on that.
Yeah, it's exactly like John just said. The where Old Navy and Sakura currently are will be kind of taken down, rebuilt to be a grocery store in that area. And Old Navy, I'm going off my memory on this. I believe it's going to go where like Jill and Joseph Bank is located. And then with that store, there is some potential other stores that are interested, or with the grocery store coming in, there are actually some other bigger name stores that are potentially interested in joining at Evergreen Walk. So hopefully it's going to be a revitalization for Evergreen and really bring some good business in. I did want to, side note, I did look back, and the property on Sullivan Ave, it will have to go, not to referendum, but it will have to be voted on. So it would be on the ballot for November. So it wouldn't have its own separate referendum, but it would have to be voted on on a ballot in an election.
So I have a question. We just got Aldi, and if we have, I read somewhere Whole Foods, I think one of the news said Whole Foods coming to Sakura area, and with Trader Joe right next to Evergreen. How are we trying to push Stop and Shop out?
And all these just got built across the street.
That's what I'm saying.
Costco has groceries.
I think you're looking at completely different shopping people that go to each one of those stores. I mean, a person that go to Aldi's probably isn't going to be a Whole Foods shopper. I mean, Trader Joe's is a whole different ball of wax. I mean, we got way more banks than we got grocery stores, and they're all working.
There's an interest of this grocery company to come in, I think, because of the market that has been built in the area, and they know that it would not be like a conflict, or it would each would kind of work within its own market of individuals.
Right.
Super.
I could see, if it's a Whole Foods, I could see that drawing customers from Trader Joe's, honestly, just because of the parking lot situation for Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's is a tough one.
How about Wegmans?
I haven't been in there yet. I got to get in there.
Oh, it's amazing. Toby,
That's what I hear.
They got great prunes.
Thanks, John.
I'm telling you, they're fantastic.
So as I look at the agenda, we've already adopted the master plan. There's only one thing left on the agenda. If someone wants to lead that, that'd be great. That would be a motion to adjourn.
I understood it, but I wasn't allowed to say.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll
This
second
might
that.
be a record.
Yeah.
Wow.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Really nice seeing you all, although I'd like to see you in person more, but.
Yeah. We need to do an outdoor meeting.
Do we know?
Thank you very much.
Do we know when we're going to be allowed to meet together? I mean, if buildings are opening, end of May?
I believe that the direction is based on the level that the town falls into. So if we were to fall into a yellow, we would be in a position where we could start having meetings in person. But
Well,
when that
so-
discussion was started, we were in an orange, and I believe we have since moved back up to a red. So
But if they're renting small rooms, we can spread out in a small room and.
But it's a town
And it's
meeting.
one
It's
from the
different.
town.
I know.
Yeah.
We have to be on a public meeting, so it has to be televised. So that's.
Oh, that's right. too.
None of you have a
So we
long
can't
drive.
Zoom like we used to.
So we couldn't even meet outside then, right?
No.
That stinks.
Yeah, but look, none of you have a long drive. It looks like I'm the only one at work.
Why can't we meet at CT Valley? That's got some must-have TVs there. Billy being.
I'm in.
Well, so there was a motion made, it carried, and so the meeting's over, so thank you all.
All right, guys,
Okay,
take care.
Nice meeting you, Mon.